everyone. Welcome to Dragons in Space, episode 57. Now we'll be focusing on trying to expand our science base and more smart successfully. We already have a magnificent array of equipment so far, but we really need to improve upon our reactors very badly. Last night we completed a mission where we put a piece of do I have command chairs yet? I actually make a rover. A mobile workshop. No, I do not. That might be the next thing we get. I need external command chairs so we can mount Kerbal externally. Alright, so we need to check out our labs and see what we have available because we did a mission in a while. It's very possible we've got something cooked up. Start off with Science Station 1 first. Alright, so not as much as I'd hoped would be here. Where are we on our alarms? How many days out are we from our... Well, only 7 days past. That's why nothing's happened yet. Although, that could be enough to give me the command chair. I should go ahead and broadcast that if I have enough power to. Yeah, that should be plenty. It's only 4. Alright, let's go ahead and now check out the Moon Lab. If you're wondering what that gravelly noise is, that is the bag of ruffles I have next to my seat. Hmm. Good thing we don't need these guys back home for a while. They had quite a bit of science. No, it's 35. I thought it was 85. I was playing tricks on me due to the bonds. Right, one last place to check. Now, Space Cat's Plankton. Getting into trouble again. Okay, let's check out. Nuclear powered lab. I have no idea why it has so low electrical charge right now. It's in sunlight. I just got in under sunlight. And dawn. Arr. That should be enough to at least get us our external command. Come on, over up here. Stand here. On top here. Listen. Okay. Let's see here. We whatever. Got a really hard choice to make. Really want rovers? But if we get rovers, we'll just down on getting other stuff like upgraded. We need that badly. 2 megawatt reactor. Both of them get an improvement on the reactor. Yeah, they do. All right. I favor waiting. Those reactors more than rovers. Or strong command seats. Let's see their dates. 6 years, 6 years, and 4 years. Don't know how I missed that one. That's just seismic surveys. I would really needed a little seismic survey probe for that one. Like an odd brown member. attempt. Look at that. Purpose sample Navy reports. That could be why we need rovers. Those tourists need to be done more than anything. They're easy. Suborbit space find on orbit. Hillary and July are the only two we have to worry about on this. They're the only two. This should be ridiculously easy. We'll make one change. Oh, two actually. I'll have 10 megajoules on board. Gonna say, fly to say. That should, in theory, sustain us for the duration of the adjusting. Other concern is we don't appear to have any issue control on this. So we know it's worked before. It stays that way. I already have a bay on here. Aha. I already have thrusters on here. No, I'm not seeing it. Now we're looking good. All right, let's make sure we got our tourists on board. We're the ones that done Ellery in July. That should be sufficient. All right, let's see how it goes. Looking good so far. That's like a beast. A lot of the takeoff. All the fuel still left in RVs. Pressure will be getting rid of this RV at a fairly high altitude too. Come on, guys, get away. Move away. Good boys. Nice lean separation, a little bit of a nudge from on the booster. We're at such a high altitude, there's no aerodynamic friction to cause serious impacts. Since we're all the same relative, no harm, no foul. Let me just take the horizon, let the plasma jets do their job. Come on, pilot, do your thing. I got megajoules. Why is it not using them? This is a big problem. No response at all. Amazing. Heck, I can even pulse here. Got a pilot, I should be able to. Oh, this may be botched. We need some emergency capacitors just in case something wrong like that. Oh, goodness. The pilot should have a mechanical switch for the electrical system. That's silly that you can't disengage them. And now we have an emergency backup power system. And a power failure will simply dump power into it while shutting down the engine. herbals before we lunch. Yep, they're there. I should really ink the March edition, like 10 degrees facing east. Maximize the amount of booster that goes to horizontal velocity. So an angle like that from launch. So we got it for now. Forward. Now rather than let the, I'm just going to coast for a little bit so I can put up the panels. That's where the atmosphere. You should use scheduled non-electrical power. That's what really under there. Nothing should have been used. Start down to the remaining. Holy cow. Wow, this boat could go just about anywhere. I know I want an SSTO, like recovery vessel, but just wow. $7,000 Delta V. 7,000 Delta V. And it's only a 39,000 crap. It's amazing what a few minor engine changes will do for a system. Not to mention, I think that the engines are burning the mass up fast enough that it may actually be making the Delta V try to go up again. You have to be getting close to this thing hard has to be getting close to here comes the periapsis. Needless to say, I'm pretty amazed at this thing's ability. And we'll have orbit obtained. Now we just got to get them home. Great tour boat. Very happy with it. And this thing can easily retrieve the Kerbals around the moon. Not on the moon, but around the moon. Trying to replenish our megajoule supply, but it doesn't look like that's going to work. Not without a thermal reactor or a thermoelectric generator. Oh. And we're back in power. So if we're back in power, why isn't it giving me control back? What the heck is wrong with this? No control. I've got. Oh, I got a pilot, but I have no actual cockpit. The probe, when it is out of contact with CurveNet. Well, that should be fixed soon. We're coming back around. That's the other thing. I should mount a couple of external stations antenna, increase the communication range. Oh, I had a communication on here somewhere. Guess not. That's one last tweak to do. Yeah. Should hopefully be coming back into line of sight of Space Center soon, and then that probe course should still link up. I mean, it was linked when it was launched, obviously. I actually thought these things acted bad as intent. I guess not. Oh, we got control back. I suspect as soon as we saw purple, the Space Center came back underneath our command. So that's something we gotta fix. In the meantime, we're going to do a blue plasma burn, full fuel dump, enter it properly. Give me my flags. Oh, okay. That's not the continent I thought it was. This is it. We are undershooting. Now I have targeting guns. I need to find a way to get this thing to generate megajoules. Hey, firework. Probably just me being quiet, actually. Sorry about that. So I just modified an old tourist vessel with our new engines and came up with something amazing. This thing started off with 7,000 Delta V. Oh, I know why it's quiet. I haven't done it in the right spot. Let me correct that. All right, audio should be back to normal now. I forgot I'd taken the webcam down today. All right, so we're in the process of returning tourists to Kerbin. And we're getting into low atmosphere, so I'm going to have to pull these fins in before they start burning off. All I do is just guide it home, like a cruise missile. Okay, we are right on target so far. Now we're being ionized, so due to a lack of a pilot, we've lost control. And our solar panels are almost certainly going to melt off. We are bleeding speed at a good clip. We are still coming in at an optimal approach to the Space Center as well, as long as we don't burn up in the process. Fortunately, this craft is flat, so the lift it's generating is dragging it pretty well. Yep, there went the solar panels. Pretty sure that was them. Let me just double check here. Yep. Panel's gone. I kind of expected that. Or you couldn't get much better guidance for entry on the Space Center. We're going to be like dead on target. Ionization is ending. We should roll soon. Testing, testing, just making sure everything's working. It looks like we're still good. Alrighty. Let's take a dive. Alright, we're dead on target. You don't get a better approach than impact. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh wait, impact would be a bad thing. Shoots out. Probes deployed. We're out on the runway. Unlucky. Oh, come on. Get back, guidance. Thank you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Parachutes are. Almost, but not quite right on target. We can fix that. And we will. We shall fix it. Oh great, I just drained all the power again. In the megajoules, seriously. Really? How did that do that? Parachute should have down again. Alright. But anyway, mission accomplished. That's the more important thing. Alright, we made money. Firework got a bunch of ribbons. He isn't here to see them. Alright, that vessel is absolutely beautiful now. I will love it. We just got to do a couple mild tweaks to fix it. And thank you, Firework, for letting me know about the mic issue. It was just I had my webcam off my monitor earlier due to some issues with connecting to somebody's webcam without wanting to, and so I had turned it off briefly. All right, so the question is, what can we do with this about this megawatt production issue? That's a really light nuclear core. We might be able to put on here. here are my thoughts. Another cargo bay. It'll slightly reduce our tourist capacity, but trade-off is likely worth it. What type of bay is this? Mark 2 cargo bay 2 times 4. Too long. Couple that with a really tiny version of the oops. Guess that's the smallest scale I can get. I'll depart into that just a little bit. Now we've been having a problem with a persistent queue. With wanting to lose control, so a module well. What is that? Space Cat 7 feels neglected again. Poor kitty. Question is, what can we slip in here that won't hurt that much? If anything. What is it, little girl? Come here. Everybody's awake. Everybody's asleep. Here. You should be too. Come back on the chair. He's such a baby. Well, what I'm working on right now is the tourist vessel here. I got it up to an incredible level of efficiency, but we had some minor problems with it. Notably, it kept losing control due to lack of curb net. So what we're going to do is give it a couple of antennas. And a pilot seat, and also a source of persistent nuclear power, so it doesn't ever run out of megajoules. What is that, Space Cat? She's telling me she feels neglected. We're all asleep. Come on. Leave Mama alone. Sleep. Crazy cat. Yeah, I realized that earlier today I had placed my webcam facing the desk. And when I did that, it muted the mic because the webcam has the mic. So I corrected that. Now everything's working better. Yeah, that's Eclipse. I call her Space Cat. He's my constant companion in space. That is not quite even. I'm going to have to put the gimbals either before or after the bell at the bottom. And I'm going to have to move it down. Right there. Still in contact. Just slightly. Nowhere near as bad as it was. I think I have some new Super Duty ejectors I could use. These things hate being in proper alignment. Bell is still making contact. I wonder. Looks a little weird, like they're detached though. I'm gonna have to use the more extended jettison decouplers. Didn't want to, but gonna have to. Alright, that looks better. Life's been pretty good. I just bought a house recently. We're going to be getting our keys for it this coming Monday. After this Monday. The Monday after this, this week's Monday. Grabbing some ruffles. Sorry for the noise. So I'm very much looking forward to moving into it. Yeah, it was like a month-long process closing on it. The most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. Negotiating with the person who's selling it, going back and forth over the price. Wife loves it though, so that's all that matters. Alright, now I got a source of megajoule power. Oh yeah, I need to put the panels back on. We may not even need the panels anymore, but just in case there's an emergency. Now I need to do a couple of tests right quick. But first off, I need to test the safe landing speed. Make sure this thing's recovery systems are still intact because we've changed the distribution of the weight. We need to make sure the chutes are still going to land it evenly. So we are now in simulation mode. Indeed. Happy wife is definitely a happy life. I want to be pretty happy too. I want to have a dedicated room to streaming. Might be able to paint it green and keep it so that I can do green screening, and then you'll actually get to see my pretty face. Be isolated away from the kitty cats, which are constantly meowing. I don't know though. I think Space Cat adds some character to the stream. Remember, this is not an actual mission, this is a flight test. All we're doing is testing the parachute's ability to get the craft safely to the ground. It means as soon as I turn horizontal, I'll be letting these boosters go. Bye, boosters. You can go now. As long as you don't blow anything. Serious break, let's see. A winglet. I don't think that's going to affect the chutes. Alright, from level flight, will it allow it to land level? Looking like we may be nose heavy. We need a couple more chutes on the nose cone, or near the nose cone. Or do fewer on the rear. We'll have to see what the landing speed is like. If the landing speed is anything above 6 knots, we're in trouble. Or 6 meters per second, I should. That's looking good. The back end's a little heavy right now due to the presence of fuel. Actually, no, the back, yeah. Fuel's in balance. Matter of fact, the nose should be heavier due to fuel. And next question is, why are we not generating power? Emergency power supply. Oh, the reactor has to be started. Oh, that's why. Wait, it says no reactor available, but there's one connected directly to it. Maybe it has to be upside down connected. But after that question, it landed nicely. Yep, it was a nice balance. So it looks like it's going to be good to land. All we have to do is tell the fission reactor to be on at launch and put the generator in a position where it should be able to operate off the reactor. I think that requires radiators too. Fortunately, the cargo bay has radiators built into it. All right, performance test. This is not a flight test for landing. This is going to be a flight test for system operations to make sure everything's working the way we want it. I also want to see what the new Delta V is. From orbit. Maker, welcome aboard. All right, initiating flight test. Disengaging clamps, and here we go. This will be a performance and re-entry test to make sure that changes we've made have not rendered this thing unable to re-enter the atmosphere, and make sure that when we get it up to altitude that we don't have to worry about collisions with the winglets like we did at low altitude. I could do that, but I may be able to get away without doing it because we get to such a high altitude with these that there's no atmosphere, so they typically just drift away if they do that now. See? Very simple discard. No separators required. That's how it normally functions when you're not testing it in atmosphere for a parachute test. Alright, let's take a look at, well, first off, let's turn off resistant rotation. Alright, Delta V does not look like it's suffered tremendously from the addition of the nuclear reactor, which is good news. Let's check our energy, make sure we're not losing anything, and we are not losing any power. Check the performance of the reactor and the generator. Wow, reactor's not even on, that's kind of weird. Okay, we will fix that. No reactor available. That is so weird. There's a reactor right there. Do I have the reactor upside down maybe? I guess that's a possibility. It says it's generating current, so maybe I don't need it. Maybe I don't. Ah, this thing must be standalone. It doesn't need a generator. And it looks like our electrical charge and our blader, or our electrical charge and our megajoules are mostly in balance. I forgot to attach the panels to an action group. These are our solar cells here. They don't actually generate thrust, they're just there to collect electricity. Now, our megajoules have started to go in reverse. That's what I've been aiming for. We are now producing more power than we're consuming with the engines running. And the generator is completely unnecessary, so we can remove that. Yes, we do need the solar. The solar is what's the solar in combination with the fission reactor is what is causing the megajoules to go up. Let's see what happens if we retract these. We'll just make sure of that. Yeah, with the cells retracted, it goes back to consuming 0.2 solar per second, or 0.2 megajoules per second. So if we leave these out, we'll actually start stockpiling power. Now these engines could run for a very long time without the cells out. I mean, it's only draining at 0.2 a second on 2250. That means we're safe in dark side, so this craft is pretty much complete, except for binding the action group on the solar panels and testing re-entry. I'm going to quickly do a afterburn fuel dump into the engines. That'll get us up to orbital speed. Even with this thing in full burn, it has over 2,000 delta V still remaining. Alright, we've got a really high periapsis now, so we're in stable orbit. We have good comms, because we got those antennas on there, so we'll never lose CurbNet. As long as we are within Kerbin space, so the Kerbin system. Alright, time to do our re-entry test. We're going to flip over here. Counter our burn. If this is successful, I'm going to upload this one to Kerbal X. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a very inexpensive craft, and it's fabulous at doing tourist missions. Might even be fabulous at recovering Kerbals from like orbit and such. I want to put a little more monopropellant on it though. Might put that in with the reactor. Those two modules, they're seat 4 each. And then you got the command pod up here for a pilot. And it's got a probe core, meaning that you could send it up without a pilot, collect a pilot, and come back with the pilot on board. So you can, in theory, recover up to 9 a mission. Alright, we are now on a re-entry trajectory. I'm going to go ahead and pull the panels in because we know those are going to burn up probably. I agree, I love this thing. I think this is one of my best so far. Got on the front for re-entry purposes, it has, well, first off, you got the Mark 1 module, which is pretty heat resistant. But you also got a small heat shield, as well as this high heat nose cone. The shock cone intake actually has a higher heat resistance than most standard nose cones. It's 2,400 by 2,400, so I tend to use it as my penetrator for re-entry. Alright, we are coming up on re-entry now. Oh, I should also throw a navigation system on board so that when the probe is the only thing on board, it'll still be able to autopilot. Alright, we have atmosphere contact. Should see ionization begin soon. Now, one of the things you can do is if you're coming in really hot, you could turn yourself around and burn the engines so that they negate your forward momentum just a little bit. Watch out at exposing sensitive pieces to heat for too long. We are coming in really hot. Probably should have slowed us down more. That was a solar panel. Don't cook. You do not have to cook. You are okay. You do not have to burn up. Good ship. Nice ship. Do not explode ship. Just a little warm. A bit toasty indeed. Good news is we're rapidly starting to lose speed as the nose naturally wants to tilt up. Hello, Kerbal. That's the name of the sun, by the way, Kerbal. If you guys didn't know already. That's some weird looking terrain. It looks orange. I don't think it's desert. Alright, forward momentum has been bled off. We can now steer this thing to wherever we want to land. Where do we want to land? Anybody have any preference? How about not on the mountains? I don't know about you guys, but I favor not on the mountains a lot. Hey, we only lost 1 out of 2 of our solar panels. One of them survived re-entry. No mountains. You're not allowed to land on mountains. You do not have permission. Alright, I think we're back over some hilly grasslands. This should be a good spot to land. As you can tell, these engines are even extremely efficient inside of atmosphere. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of thrust out of them, but I'm getting enough to provide some guidance on re-entry. 60 kilonewtons between the two of them. As the craft gets lighter, that becomes even more and more efficient. And as the atmosphere gets thicker, it becomes more and more effective until eventually it becomes a nice, stable, low-speed aircraft. It's pretty stable. I mean, it's just, it fights a little bit at high atmosphere, but once you get down into thicker air, You can fly it. See, I'll take my hand off the controls now. Still descending. I can't keep the nose up because the atmosphere is still a little bit too thin. Could probably do with moving these front fins forward just a little bit. There we go. Now we've got level flat. And that level flat will become more and more efficient as the atmosphere thickens. When I was actually flying the tourist firework, you were the pilot, and I actually brought this straight back to the Space Center. It landed on the runway. Well, next to the runway. Almost on it, but not only 10 feet away from it. Really, really close. Alright, landing test for ground, engaging chutes. Killing engines. And just letting the craft do its thing. Believe it or not, the parachutes, the drogue chutes, when they're not fully deployed, actually help stabilize them flat. Kill the RCS. I'm very tempted to put landing gear on this thing. It could return as an aircraft. Even though it doesn't have, it might SSCO. I haven't tried it. I doubt it though. The engines just don't have the velocity needed. When it's on the fuel dump mode, it burns fuel way too fast. But with the assistance of rapiers now, it might do it. I could toss a few rapiers on the side, use the rapiers to get up to altitude, and then kick in the secondary engine. And this thing probably leave it in orbit pretty easy. And there we go. She balanced herself out again. I love you, ship. Look how much Delta V it still has left on it. And that's with me just messing around. Hey, Karen Oaks, welcome aboard. Well, actually designing the thing didn't take very long at all. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour at most. What took a while is getting all the parts needed for it in the career. This is a mid-career craft. Thank you. You as well. And the nose cone still breaks off, even with a very, very slow landing. Why did you do that? I can tell we need some structural reinforcements on the nose. Every time this craft has landed on the ground so far, that nose cone has broken off. And it's at the capacitors where it's breaking. Which means oh, wrong thing. I meant to go back to the space plane here. For vehicle assembly. Alright, so we've got the strength in that nose, and I think the way to do that is we're going to toss on a cargo bay and throw the batteries inside of that, because the cargo bay, if I'm not mistaken, has a higher impact speed. I'm thinking that these batteries may simply be delicate. Let's check the battery's impact speeds. Can handle 8 meters per second. $14, much better. And it should make little to no difference in the way it performs in flight. Alright, I'm very happy with that design. So saving it. And let's export it. So if any of you want to use this, before we upload, I want to do one thing. Bind these to an action group. Otherwise, all the action groups are already made. Interstellar, tourism. Plasma engines. Crew recovery. I don't know what classification this really falls into. Not quite a space plane, it's not an aircraft. Just call it a ship. Okay, tappa 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 tappa. Yeah, I'm adding it to the Kerbal X. Now let's see if we can also put that reactor on an action group as well. Wrong area. And the other thing I wanted to do was add a little bit more monopropellant. We got plenty of room in this cargo bay to do it. Actually, we can just get rid of this because it's useless. Oh wow, that's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Where's that thin tank? That won't work, it's too big. Still not as much as I'd like it to be. Got to be some really small tanks we can put in here with it. Where's the Mark Zeros? I've got so many engines, there's so many tanks in here now that it's almost impossible just to find a standard Mark Zero tank. That works. That's a lot more like what I'm looking for. There, that way we can still reach the reactor if we need to. All right, how much monopropellant do we have now? We have 716.3. That should be plenty. Okay, so now I'm very comfortable with this craft, so I'm gonna go ahead and send it on up. Yes, yes, I know it does. All right, and there's the link to whoever, if you guys want to pick it up. All right, we've already completed the mission associated with this craft. I just wanted to make sure that we got it into flight condition for future missions, and it is now ready to go. Matter of fact, we may use it on the next mission to recover Kerbals stranded around the moon. Because it has so much Delta V, it probably can make it and come back. It'd be a great test of its model changes. Track core from the moon and deliver it to Kerbin. Well, that will be easy. Well, not when its current state. It doesn't have landing gear. We wouldn't want to use it to retrieve a Kerbal from the surface of the moon. We'd only want to use it to retrieve Kerbals from orbit. If we want to retrieve Kerbals from the surface of the moon, we've got to get the other the recovery craft that I've been working on. We've got to get that finished. But in order to get that finished, we've got to increase our power generation from our reactors. They're not strong enough to do the deed that needs to be done. We have been playing Kerbals now for quite some time, about 2 hours. Starting to notice that we're starting to get lag whenever we hit the hangars. That's a sign we may be seeing a memory leak crash sometime in the near future. Here's the one that I really want to get working. There's just one problem. We don't have enough thermal power being generated by these reactors to power this engine. I'll just show you how it performs right now. This one can land on the moon if we can get it working, but as I said, reactor power is not quite good enough to keep these thermal ramjets going. Yeah, this one is a work in progress, but it needs better power. That's the thing about the KSPIE parts. They need extreme amounts of power. That's why you get fusion reactors later. Right now I'm saving up for a 2 megawatt reactor design. That's the next tech step. It's going to cost us 1,000 tech to get it. And when I have that 2 megawatt reactor, this thing should really take off in a very exceptional manner. See, right now, it's not even getting enough heat to even generate or enough power to generate even a kilonewton of thrust from this reactor. It's not even producing a full megawatt yet. And yet, if you look at the radiator fins, you'd think, how could it not be producing massive amounts of heat? Exactly. Like, why is this thing not picking up the heat? And that's what happens when you don't have enough power. We're going to spare physics the trouble. I want to launch on the blue plasma. But that's the only way we're going to get up to speed without that turbojet working. Part of the reason so much heat's being generated and you're seeing the radiators get hot is the radiators base their effect on atmosphere. At least the wings do. So the slower the atmosphere is moving across them, the less they radiate. I'm very confident this design will work when we get the next reactor. But on the salt reactor, it just isn't doing the job. That's the other thing. We need to find a way to make the landing gear more stable. It wants to drift. I cannot for the life of me figure out why it wants to drift. Pardon the bag sound, that's me getting some Doritos. Yep, booms indeed. I'm going to try to retool this landing gear just slightly. I'll have to move the nose up a little so I can work on it. Come on. Grab it. Grab it. Alright, we're in rotation mode. It could be that the craft is so heavy that this particular set of landing gear may be being overstripped. If that's the case, I'll have to go to super heavy landing gear. Let me go fix that bar right quick. Alright, excess caps limitation has been disabled. Don't go too crazy with it. Oh, these look like they're angled. This could be our problem right here. Let's put on absolute. Now the effect should be mirrored. All right, let's try that again. That was beautiful. No storms or anything. Yesterday was kind of messy. Left work at about the time that a bunch of storms rolled through, got soaked. Try tapping once you tap before firework. I just want to verify that the caps limiter has been removed successfully. You West Coast? Yeah, it works. Alright, so far so stable. Whoa! Okay. Not sure what exactly happened with the thermal ramjet. It exploded. How is it a thing that's supposed to be powered by heat explodes when exposed to heat? I know, right? I have a theory on that, though. It's not penetrating the sidewall of the engine. Do we have any pre-coolers? Maybe that's the problem. No pre-cooler. I don't want to bet anything that's the cause of it. Let's check and see. Okay, so we're going to toss on a pre-cooler here. Come on. I don't like how that looks, so we're going to do some cosmetic work right quick. There we go. It looks like it's more integrated into design. Yeah, I know. Grim irony. Loading slower and slower until that memory leak is really getting to it. Now we're going to use the plasmas to get up to a safe launch speed and then throttle back. I need to check the... I gotta check the aerodynamics again. It's flipping way too easy. Something's thrown it out of balance. Oh, it shouldn't be out of balance. It's a very complex system. I got a funny feeling it's nearly done. I think it really just needs the extra power, but we're about to find out. Bad part is when I throw the new reactor on, it'll need to be rebalanced yet again. Pretty much. But man, when it gets done, it's going to be a beauty. Why are you wanting to flip for just because I turn your nose up? Ah. I'm guessing stall speed must be right around 200. It's that heavy. I'm gonna have to keep the blue engines on. Bad part is that those blue engines consume tons of fuel. If I could get that thermal ramjet working, then we'd be done already. The good news is that the thermal ramjet did not overheat this time. The bad news is the thermal ramjet did not do anything this time. Really? Why? I think I may know part of the reason why I'm doing this. The empty space between the two engines at the back is normally present to keep the craft flying level, and it's not there. So I'm going to try something to see if it'll stabilize it, which is just simply put a plate between the two engines. Well, probably have to be below or above the ramjet column. Something along the lines of that. Yeah, I'll be streaming probably tonight. Might be streaming earlier tonight too. I might try to stream around noon, around midnight instead of 2 a.m. Especially if I can get this thing working. This thing starts working, it'll be able to go anywhere I want it to, pretty much. Oh, is there a ULA or a SpaceX launch today? If so, go for it, man. I mean, reality trumps this. I love watching SpaceX and ULA launches. Oh, this launch. Okay. I know there's a lot of streamers that cover ULA and SpaceX. By the way, I've decided on August the 21st, I want to be streaming the solar eclipse. I just got to get the proper filtering equipment for it, so that's something to look forward to. Why the specific impulse on this engine is dropping as it gets faster. Oh, that was close. Well, the threshold's dropping, whatever that is. Oh, it works fine on the blue engines. That's not a problem. Never has been a problem. But that's not what we want to run it on. Threshold's dropping and the engine max thrust is rapidly rising. Thanks. We're going to be out of fuel before we even see the, I think before we even see the main thruster kick in. Take care, man. Well, there's part of our problem. We've been liquid fueling, not atmosphere, the whole. Try that again. Let's make sure we're using the right propellant. Come on, load up. All right. It's just getting way too little power. Way too little heat. I'll need a bigger reactor. Redonkulous. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back. This craft simply will not fly until we get a better fission core for it. But it will eventually. So for now, we go to work on science. Science, science, science. So what shall we do now? I think there's more of the moon and Memphis we need to plunder. We got enough fuel now, we can do a few optional missions. Probably need to put up a new, we could put up a new lab. Now we already have one lab on Memphis, one on the moon, but we don't have any in orbit of them. We could actually build a legit space station. We got all the components except for, I think, a senior Nectroport. No, I wonder if those are available on the tick tree yet. The real question, will the VAB actually load? That stage currently has 480 kilonewtons. thrust. 240 if we remove a nuke. Remove them both. Swapping for a plasma engine. Put them all to hybrid plasma. Doesn't consider a difference between closed cycle and hybrid plasma. Calculation of the way it should be enough. So delta V 3,500 versus delta V 'I don't think that calculation's right. I don't think it's considering that it's in a hybrid plasma state. Oh, that could be why. That was why. I only had liquid on board. So 11,000 delta V versus, come on, 4,000. Even if I go to closed cycle, I bet it's almost the same efficiency as the nukes. Might be better actually. Wow. Well, I've got some ideas now. That should be just about right for this design. Keep putting the wrong top on there. I don't want the B's, I want the A's. Here we are. Massive overall improvements coming to the lab. This thing actually has communications built into it. Just extend the ladder a little bit. Hey, Bama. Hey, Figwent. Welcome aboard, guys. If we got any new science, we can also take with us. Not really useful on a planet without an atmosphere. But we might send it eventually one day to a planet that does have one, so I might as well include it. We can also include this one for when we're orbiting worlds, but see how it works. Ravioli detector, do we have one of those on here? To this boat also. No oceans on Duna. Ibama. Or no oceans on Moon, I should say. Packing all that tech in tight, man. I don't think that's gonna fit. But since it's for, you know, oceans and we're going to like Moon of Minmus, not a big deal. Sentinel will be putting up on satellites when we send them to the moon in the future. That atmospheric sensor is going through the. That's too big too. Gravity, temperature, seismic, pressure. Do I have a seismometer on here? Don't look like it. What is that thing? Oh, the avionics system. Alright, so all we have left now is trying to figure out I might have lost some shoots, so let's duplicate those. Okay. Gotta stress test this baby. First test. How does it land on re-entry? Mama, we've got some really nice new parts. A lot more power, a lot more engine strength. Oh, I forgot to put on the megajoules. We may not even be able to use the plasma engines this thing has. We may be getting to the point where the memory leak is about to beat us up. We're about 3 hours into the stream. Are you going to load for us? It loaded for us. Alright, let's see how it does. Lifting good. No problem off the pad. Booster's away with only a minor bleed. That's good. We could use it for a little bit more monopropellant. I may have to add a few monopropellant tanks to this. We've only got 589. Not exactly the best way to control your craft. For our panels up here. Orange tanks are burnt. Yep, you got your boom. The booster exploding. I just noticed something. The engines aren't properly aligned. I should fix that when I get an opportunity. It isn't going to hurt anything though. The thrust is still going to come out the exact same exit points. Wow, this is draining electric power rapidly. Now we currently got an electrolysis reactor on board, which is increasing our power outflow, which is why we're able to still generate enough electric to run the engines on flat mode without the sun being out. Where am I heading? I am heading, well, this is a test. We're not actually going to the moon or anything, though we could. We're testing out the systems and making sure this thing will be flight ready for an actual mission. This is a simulation, but I'm really liking it so far. All we have to do is toss on a megajoule battery, and this thing will be finished. And some extra monopropellant. So a megajoule battery, extra monopropellant, and we'll be able to go to the moon or to the sun, whatever we want to do. Look how much delta V it still has left, Bama. 5,572 delta V. This thing has a range. All right, so now we need to test and see how well it re-enters. We're going to go around, grab some power, make sure. Okay, never mind, we got power. All right, so pull the panels. And retro burn. Chutes are triggered. Our brakes are on. Turn the correct facing. And hope we survive. Alright, here goes the fun part. Surviving re-entry. It occurred to me I don't have any radiators on here right now, or any serious heat shielding for that matter. I could probably radically increase its survivability just by doing those few changes. Letting the bricks cool down some. Oh, there goes the yeah, we need some better heat shielding on it and some radiators. I bet all we've lost is solar panels so far. Just confirm that. Docking port, air brakes, solar panels. Well, if you can't go in prograde, go in antigrade. At least you go in stable either way. It occurred to me we also now have a shielded docking port. We can put that on the nose to replace the old docking port, and it should perform better on re-entry. Of course, this thing is nowhere near aerodynamics, so it's going to roll like this. There's no way to stop it. However, we are now at chute safety range. And it's those, it's the fins here. It's going to make it roll end over end for a bit. Just waiting chute deployment. Slowing down a little bit right now just on pure atmospheric friction. There goes the drogue chutes. They're doing their job okay. Here come the main chutes. We are very bottom heavy. All right, let's see how it lands. Nothing break. All I ask. 11 meters per second though, very high probability something will break. Nose cone broke. Go figure. Okay, that wasn't bad though. Everything else is intact. It landed on these landing legs, which have a high impact tolerance, so that's good. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. All right, let's go back to the spaceplane hangar. We want to do a few touch-ups. Or the vehicle assembly building, I should say. Successful initial test. Craft is going to need a megajoule battery. Now we have plenty of electrical charge. Alright, and the other thing we wanted to do was be a slightly wider landing. So 2 more chutes should do it. Where are you, chutes? There's some. There they are. That should hopefully do it. Actually, we'll do it this way. I'm sure they're all primed to go off at the same time still. Alright, now notice this in flight. These engines are in a weird symmetry, so we're going to adjust them slightly on their rotation. That looks almost right. There we go. Much better. Make sure those are still action grouped. Yes, they're good. Alright, so that should level the landing. We've got our power on, set the supply on, we've adjusted the engine. I think we're going to take that to 8-way mirroring so we have as much solar power as we will ever need. The other thing we want to do is improve our radiator temps because we're still running on out-of-date temperature controls. So we're going to swap these out for some graphene. And we're going to swap this out for an actual shielded radiator, or shielded docking port. You know, I could have swore I had those unlocked, but they're not in here. Guess we'll go with the original. We get that replacement shielded docking port, that can stay there. We also have new cockpits. I don't think we need that anymore. I mean, it's a good aerodynamic design for making the craft fly nice and level on re-entry. Hey, Palem 1, welcome aboard. We no longer need that mobility enhancer because the landing gear put this almost at ground level. Do we have a complete crew? Let's see. The pilot, engineer, 2 scientists. Why, yes, we do have enough for a full crew. Okay, so we need a space station in orbit of Kerbal, the sun itself. So, we're going to take this lab to the orbit of the sun. Because it has enough delta V that if ever wanted to, it could return home after. Question becomes how to mount this to that with that engine in place. I know how. This. Then we'll do this. Guess what to do 6-way mirroring since the nose cones are doing the same. There we go. Yeah, that should be plenty of thrust. All right, this thing's heading for deep space. Alright, so what we need to know is where are we facing right now? Because if we're facing in the correct direction, ooh, we are. We are facing against the orbit of Kerbin. Alright, so we can go literally straight up and be going exactly where we need to go. So there will be no gravity turn, there will be no turning at all. We're just going straight for the sun. We actually want to kill forward momentum on this very unusual type of launch. So we'll be slightly leaning back towards the west to encourage the orbit to actually come up towards the celestial pole. Alright, we've killed our forward velocity. We should be going for essentially straight up, straight down. Minor impact from the boosters as they're shed. No serious damage. Space Tank, get out of there. After. Come here. Out of the closet, come on. Sorry, folks. We have interference from little kitties. Talk about a beautiful sunrise. Actually, technically, that's a sunset in reverse. Go ahead and put our panels out. Eclipsed by our own solar cell. Did not mean for those to be on that mode. And I forgot to bind these to an action group. Talk about a pain in the butt. Fortunately, there's only 6 of them. Last one. Now we're using megajoule power in combination with liquid fuel and oxidizer. We need more thrust. Did not expect that. I suppose I should have left it in the blue mode. Well, we'll go back to Afterburn. Feeling that gravity, yo. Getting the impression that not all of these are on. Yeah, that's what I thought. Not all of them were on closed cycle. It was throwing off the ascent. It's acting like it's out of balance for some reason. They're all closed cycle. Yeah, I don't know how it got turned off, but sure enough. There we go, it's a lot more stable now. Thanks for catching that, Bona. And now we just burn, 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 burn. We've got more than enough delta V to escape Kerbin and Kerbin system. And our solar cells are generating so much power, we're not even consuming electrical charge. We're free! This solar station shall be in orbit shortly. Alright, now that we've got our orbit locked correctly, let's keep accelerating while on target. I'm sleepy. It's 7 a.m. Normally I'm in bed at 6. But I'm so stoked about this new design, I decided to stay up and launch it. Since this is going to be in orbit of the sun, the multiplier for the science we send to it is going to be rather sizable. We're going to get a lot more data out of this thing than we have any other science vessel. You know, maybe I should have gone with the gravity assist. This has taken a lot more delta V than I imagined it would to leave the surface of Kerbin. Yeah, I know it would, Palin. I just thought I had enough to just power it out of the system. These new engines are making me a little cocky. I think it'll do it still. It's just taking a while to get going. There we go. Meow. Bye, Moon. Bye, Mimus. Hello, Kerbal. What is the orbital velocity of Kerbin? That's going to be an important question for us. It doesn't actually give us the orbital velocity, just a rotation period. Time to look it up online. 9,284.5 meters per second. That's roughly the velocity we will want once we leave orbit to make sure we don't leave too far away from Kerbin. Nine days out, 10 days out. Alright, so we need to burn prograde just slightly. Make sure that we stay near the Kerbin system. But we're going to put some distance so we don't accidentally collide with the Kerbin system. I just got to make sure we don't actually hit Kerbin, so I'm going to have to set it as target here and make sure we never actually exceed or make contact with it. What I'm doing effectively is setting the station at a Lagrange point without there actually being a Lagrange point in the game. $1,284. And we're encountering Kerbin. Alright. That's as close as we can get without actually encountering Kerbin. Alright, so the idea is to stay in the neighborhood without actually running into it. And now that we are positioned, hello, you go into a normal orbit relative to your ball. Now let's check see if we got any science on board that we haven't done out here yet. We haven't analyzed the magnetosphere yet. We'll beam that home. There's our magnetometer. We will also transfer that to our other labs, assuming it's worth anything to the other labs. Apparently it is. I haven't seen the interior of this new lab, so we'll have to check it out. I'll do that as soon as I send the last magnetometer reading. That memory leak is really starting to wear on us. Alright, so let's see what it looks on the interior here. This is the cockpit. Co-command, the engineer's seat. Flight engineer. And this is the new lab. Open up the cargo bay here so we can expose some of the other experiments. Let's see if there's any change in availability. Nope. Alright, so the Helios Observatory is now in place. Or Kerbal Observatory, I guess we should call it. And there we go, one fully crewed space station in orbit of the Sun. Now I think we have a mission to send a station to Ike or Duna. Now we've got one for the moon. But I would like a more advanced station for the moon and for Ike. I want an actual dedicated refueling station, not just an observatory. So we will work on that tomorrow night. We'll probably work on based on this design. We'll notably do that because ASP just crashed. We finally had the memory leak catch up with us. That was longer than usual, 3 hours and 52 minutes into the stream, so that was actually a decent run. Well, folks, that's the end of it for the evening. I hope you enjoyed watching what you've seen so far. If you've liked what you've seen so far. Don't forget to follow, and I will see you again tonight, later tonight Eastern time, around 12 a.m. starting Monday morning or 2 a.m. Monday morning. So I will see you then if you're still around.